We were just talking here. Was that design? No, clearly it wasn't. Amar's like he was trailing the play, and that's so cool that was improv. I love that play. We'll see it again at NFL Honors. Playoff picture right now. Chiefs the 1, Bills the 2. We're going to talk about all these other teams, but the key thing is the Bills, first team to clinch a division.
Can I say something? The Bills have not played the Patriots yet. That's a division opponent, and they already have the T-shirts.
Yeah. They haven't even played. That is such. I would wonder, because there's a lot of stats about how early they clinched it. Has a team ever clinched a division before playing one of their divisions?
I don't know, but they still have 2 games against the Pats, and they have T-shirts.
Jamie, that was some performance last night.
I loved the fact that Josh Allen, I think, just made all of the rules committee have a conversation. Like, should we have an assist column in NFL stats? Like, it's passes, rushing yards, assists on a touchdown. Josh Allen has a pretty good idea there. Peter, it was quite the look. The snow game, whether you like it or not, the Bills know how to play in them, and they took care of business on Sunday Night Football.
There is something magical about snow games. There's also something special about Sunday night games. The entire country's watching. Everyone watched their own local team over the day, and then they're settling in and they're watching like, okay, it's a snow globe on TV. And what a statement Buffalo just made to the rest of the league. That's their 7th straight win. And in those wins, they have averaged a 15-point margin of victory.
They kill people.
They crush. Yeah. So they have now won 7 straight games. They win their 5th straight AFC East title. And they clinched the division not even 24 hours into December. They are sitting pretty. And I'm wondering, I'm like, all right, now do you put Trubisky in the rest of the way and say, no, after the game, Josh Allen's like, our goal is the 1 seed. Yeah. We are chasing the 1 seed. I also think Sunday night's important because of that MVP race. And we'll talk about it. We'll do flips about it over the next 5 weeks. But it's so funny. 7 days ago, I'm sitting in New York and I'm looking at the camera and I'm like, Saquon just put up 300 yards of offense. And if you take Saquon off this Eagles team, what are they? And he just did it on national TV. 7 days later, it's like, no. These guys are 10-2. Allen is superhuman. Mm-hmm. He's doing it without Diggs, without Gabe Davis, and he's doing it with 6 different team captains of his over the years, no longer on the squad. And he's doing it with a smile, and he's doing it with a new fiance, and he's doing it in the snow, he's doing it in great weather. And I'll tell you, this team, they look as dialed in as they ever have under McDermott and with Josh Allen under center, and they are cresting at the perfect point of the season.
Peter, you're absolutely correct. And you start talking about how dialed in these guys are. And the word that comes to my mind when I start talking about these guys being dialed in and what we saw last night is chemistry. Chemistry. That's the one thing about this game of football that people don't talk about enough. And when you start seeing Amari Cooper tossing the ball up when he just got there weeks ago for touchdowns to Allen, it's absolutely amazing. You see these guys out there just having fun. They are in their elements, 20 degrees, snowing, blizzard, whatever it is. Everybody's smiling. Everybody's jumping around. This is what football is about. If all the kids out there at the house, this is what it looks like. Look at your backyard right now.
Yes.
That's what it looks like right now when you have some snow in your backyard. You're playing around with your friends. Your parents are throwing snow in the air. Having fun and playing ball and making plays, that's what this game is about. And when you have that chemistry aspect going, you have photo moments like that, and you have photos like that. These guys are just doing what they need to do, taking care of business. Their offense is unstoppable. They can run the ball. They can pass the ball. This is a tough team to play. And if you have to go through Buffalo and deal with these elements, that is not the squad that you want to be dealing with at any point in time.
Well, somebody's going through Buffalo. I just don't know yet if Kansas City's going through Buffalo. I don't know if there's a big difference between the 2 and the 1. It's not just the bye. It's the title game, all that. It's interesting you say, Peter, that they're just blowing everybody out because the Chiefs don't blow anybody out.
Complete opposite.
They don't blow anybody out, but they win every game except against Buffalo. All right, so let's have some fun. Just give me the Amari Cooper lateral thing. Well, we're going to talk about this a lot. The origin story makes it even more interesting. If you can run the play, Josh is right. He does throw a bad ball. No, this is not it. Give me the Amari Cooper. This is Mac Hollins. We're good on this. Mac Hollins made a great catch. We're going to talk about him later. The Amari Cooper, here it is. So he does miss him. He throws it behind them. And so he kind of runs over like, oh, damn. And he says, eye contact right here.
Gosh.
You got to understand, those 2 guys have not played together for years. They don't really know each other that well. Amari was a midseason acquisition, but I think Allen said it perfectly. It's like 2 old savvy vets who played a lot of football. And when you make that eye contact, I like that Amari Cooper was just as crazy as Josh was, because you know Josh is nuts and he wants to make those plays. Amari is the quiet guy, underspoken. He's like, screw it, I'll lateral to you. I don't think Amari's ever lateraled it to Derek Carr or to Dak Prescott, but that
rush.
Yeah, I don't think he has. That maniac number 17, he's like, oh, you get down like this? Fine. I'll lateral to you. Why not? I mean, that could have been a terrible game-changing play. You know
Also,
what I'm saying?
it's in the snow. Like,
Yeah,
so
it makes it even harder.
It looks even more playground.
All right, so you might hear this, and hold off on the videotape. Last night NBC, something like that happens, and the NBC production truck is scrambling to come up with stats and history. And Tirico's saying this is only it's only the fourth time a quarterback has received the touchdown that he threw. In other words, throws a pass, ends up getting it in his own hands to score. A lot of people might talk about this morning. There's really only one show that will show you the videotape of the other times that this has happened. Roll it. This is a quarterback throwing a pass, ended up catching the ball into a touchdown. Give me Brad Johnson in the red zone against Carolina.
Classic.
Now watch the moves on Johnson afterwards. I don't remember Brad Johnson moving like that. He looks great. This is before he's with Tampa, winning the Super Bowls. He's going to get deflected. He's going to catch it.
He shook Michael Barrow.
Look out. That's a great move.
Barrow's a legend.
That was like Lamar and Matt Milano a few years ago. All right, so Brad Johnson's going to score. This is a great play. Let's take us to the most famous one of all time. I remember covering this as a show. Roll. Let's go to Arrowhead Stadium. Marcus Mariota is going to. This is when the Titans didn't care, and they're going to beat the Chiefs. The Chiefs would always lose in the playoffs. Peter, who deflects this pass?
It's Darrelle Revis.
It's Darrelle Revis as a Chief. He was on the Chiefs in 2017. Watch the
Chiefs
angle.
Literally could not win a playoff.
Couldn't do it.
Alex Smith could not win a playoff.
Couldn't do it. Mariota catches it, scores. The Chiefs would always blow it in the playoffs. It's the exact opposite of what they are now.
Is there more?
There's one more, but we don't even have videotape. You know why? Only one other guy's done it. It was in the 60s. Bring up the picture.
What do we got?
Bring up the picture. Give me my Frank Ryan on the LA Rams.
Yeah.
This is later in his career with the Browns. He threw it, caught it in the 60s. Frank Ryan out of Rice ended up being in the U.S. House of Representatives.
Yeah.
Ended up being the athletic director for Yale. He's the only guy who ever done it.
What a cool. Is that Ian Rappaport in his locker?
That is he. He's going, champ, tell us about the forward pass. And that's the only guys who've ever done it. You can now add Josh Allen to that list. But hold on. Peter mentioned this too, and then I'll go back to Jamie. Here is our side-by-side as we're into December of 2024. Just take a look at these two. There you go, guys. Take your pick.
Oh, that's sick.
Because the MVP race changed a lot last night. Josh Allen, I don't care what the odds say, might have said the favorite. But he now has a weapon that he didn't have, I don't think, before. The crazy, stupid, freakish highlight like Saquon has. Josh Allen had the 4th and 2 against the Chiefs. Nance even called it the biggest play of the year in the NFL. But this is totally different. This is acrobatic, Cirque du Soleil hysteria that I think isn't the same physical feat that Saquon did, but it was crazy to do it in the snow. And now we're playing with fire.
Jamie, I'm sorry. I got to go around the table here. We love the MVP award, and that's for the football heads. There's also now the Play of the Year award at NFL Honors. I forgot about the Saquon one when I said that's. Which one is harder to complete and which one has more context, significance? I still think the Saquon one was so jaw-dropping against Jacksonville. We all were like,
What do you guys think of that?
What do you guys think?
I think Saquon still gets the nod just because of the fact that I don't know. He went crazy on that one. I don't know.
Saquon was in control of his own body on that play.
Okay.
It takes 2 people to participate in what we saw happen with the Buffalo Bills last night. And I also contend that thing was so accidental. I actually think the reason Josh Allen was following Amari Cooper was out of guilt because that was such a bad ball that knowing that defense for San Francisco, Fred Warner coming out of nowhere, like, that thing was going the other direction. If that got hit out of Amari's hand and taken it back 99 yards, like Josh, I think, was going to be there to tackle a guy had that ball gotten loose in the snow. So, like, the fact that went down between those 2 guys is so much harder to do. Saquon, ridiculous, but 2 players had to be involved in that Bills play.